Good morning and welcome to the SHAC. My name is Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK. It's 10 o'clock. I think it's the 29th of December. I'm losing count of the days. And I'm here to keep you company. Our friend Paul is also in the chat room with yourselves. So if you have any questions, then he's your man. There's lots going on already again at Clarity. Christmas is over, although let's just spread it out a little bit longer. You know, it took us so long to get ready for it. The decorations are still up in the house. The mince pies are still on the kitchen counter. Paul says the sound is nice and clear. And I can see that our friends are already joining us. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. Have you had a good Christmas? Was it okay? Are you glad it's over? Are you sad it's over? Well, Gracie, we got up at 5 o'clock this morning and Dave took Grace to the airport. So she's off already. 10 o'clock, her flight leaves for New York, although New York is snowed under. So hopefully her flight will be on time. And Marky's still here for a couple of days. So tomorrow we're going to have a day together, just the two of us, which will be nice. And today I've been busy, just working. Dave also, because we've got the Boxing Day sale on, as you know, the big Boxing Day sale, in fact. And yeah, so that's worth having a look. So I was having a look at the website today and looking at what needs refreshing and what needs taking down and what needs putting up. We've got a little skeleton crew on at work, just pushing through those orders to get them out the door as quickly as possible. Come on in, friends. Nice to have your company. And other than that, I'm just getting my ducks in a row for the new year, you know. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me. Is it the 5th day of Christmas today? Is it already? Golly. Thank you for the heads up, Lynn. Yeah, so it's been a fantastic Christmas, actually. We've had such a lot of fun. And the year's been okay, you know. Eating a chocolate croissant and a cuppa. Well, Jacqueline, I say. Grace and I decided at 5 o'clock this morning that we've got to do something about the wait. So why wait for the wait? We're going to start today. Yeah. Mark's very disciplined, you know. He's one of those sporty types that can say, no thanks. Whereas Grace and I, we just take it to the face. Box of chocolates, a layer of chocolates. I'm afraid it's in our DNA. So we've decided before it gets ugly, we're going to do something about it. Come on in. It's great to have your company. I thought since it's the last SHAC day of the year, the last SHAC day of 2025, I thought it might be nice to just have a cup of tea. You know, it's that time in between Christmas and New Year. I quite like it, but it takes a little bit of adjusting in your head, especially if you still work like we do. But it'll be okay. I'm looking at all the comments. Lovely to see you all. Richard, I hope that you and Lisa are doing well. Where's Ken? Is Ken in the room with us? Yeah, so it's been a really good Christmas. We went to see Oliver up in London. So it's been showtime. We saw Annie at Evie's school, our granddaughter's school. That was lovely. So we went from real children on stage. Then we went to a major production, which was fantastic. Oliver on Shaftesbury Avenue. That was pretty special. At the Gielgud Theatre, very nice theatre. So if you have a chance to go up to London to see Oliver, I highly recommend it. And then And then on Sunday this week, so was that yesterday? No, it can't have been. Saturday. So you lose track of the times. Hi, Ken. Paul's just told me you're in the room too. Nice. There he is. Good to have your company. Und ich denke, die Marion ist auch da. Lass mich mal schnell gucken. Oh, es geht so schnell. It moves so fast. Marion, grüß dich. Schön, dass du auch da bist. Yeah, what's the weather like where you are? What's the weather like where all of you are? Yeah, so on Saturday we went to Tunbridge Wells Assembly, the assembly halls, and we went to a pantomime with all the kids, grandchildren, children, and it was absolutely brilliant. Sleeping Beauty. We laughed like drains, you know. It was fascinating, really. And little Oliver, who's 6 years old, as we were going into the theatre, one of the ushers, an usherette, a lady, she said, "And what's your name?" And she pulled Oliver out, and she said, "And what's your seat number?" And I thought, "Oh, here we go. This will be fun." And sure enough, right at the end, they called 4 children up, and Oliver was one of them. Oh, it was so wonderful to watch. And yeah, they kind of interviewed them, asked them where they come from, asked them what their name is, how old they are. One little girl, she was so gorgeous in a little tinsel dress, and the dame in this particular production is amazing. Okay, just stole the show really for me because it's so funny. Really, the innuendo was like over all the children's heads, and the adults were just buckled up. It was brilliant. Anyway, so this little girl, she was 4, and the guy asked her, the dame, I can't remember his name, he's a well-known actor, and he said, "And how old are you?" And she said, "Oh no, what's your name?" "Olive." "And how old are you?" "4." And then he said, I know a little girl who's 4, but she doesn't know how to say please in Spanish, which I think is pretty por favor." Anyway, the little girl looked at him completely blankly. and then half the audience got it. The half that have been to Spain. Anyway, it was very funny. And maybe, Paul, you could just look up assembly halls and tell us what the name of the dame is. The name of the dame, please. Anyway, it was Sleeping Beauty. Absolutely fantastic. The costumes were, in my opinion, they were like Shaftesbury Avenue level. Insanely good. And I did say on my blog, because I've been blogging through Christmas, if you are anywhere in the area here within 100 miles, I highly recommend Sleeping Beauty at the assembly halls. Absolutely bang on, like proper good, you know, especially even just for adults. It doesn't, you know, there were as many adults in the, easily, I'd say more adults than kids, to be fair. But it was a delightful thing to do, you know. It wasn't expensive either. So that was cool. Yeah. No names in our panto, but they were fab. No famous names. Yeah, it's just such a pleasure just so fun. And Mark was saying, because obviously he lives in San Francisco, and he'd said that last year he took Alex, his wife, to the Presidio in San Francisco because they were trying to educate the Americans on pantomime culture. So it was very English. And he said he was the only one in the room, you know, "Oh, yes, he is. Oh, no, he was." His wife looked at him absolutely mortified and wondered what on earth he was up to, because he was in it. He's been brought up on pantomimes. Anyway, he said the Americans didn't really get it because it's not part of their routine. And as soon as we sat down in the assembly halls, it started before they even came on, you know, even the Ushers, oh, no, you don't. Oh, yes, we do. You know, it was so funny. Where is he? He's behind you. And off it went, you know. So it was really great. Eve Hammond, oh, por favor. She's got a Spanish class this morning. Adios. Hasta luego. Hasta la vista. I did Spanish at university. A la universidad. Now let me think. Where was I? I lost my thread there because I saw she was going to a Spanish class. Have a good time, Lynn. Eve, I mean, Lynn Hammond. Yes, and Mark, he went to the Presidio. James Peake was the name of the dame. Very funny. Very, 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 very funny. Yeah, so he said, I was sitting next to him in Tunbridge Wells, and about 5 minutes in, he leant into me and he said, this is 10 times better than the Panto in San Francisco. And I laughed. I said, well, good, you know, enjoy. And then about an hour later, he leant in again and he went, this is 100 times better. He said, this is insane. It was so fun. And so Lee Mead was the prince. Yeah, we had some names on the stage. It was so fun. And the girl who played Sleeping Beauty, what a voice. What a voice. Now, she could have been in Oliver. She could have been Nancy in Oliver and bang it, you know. There are so many talented people around. So many talented people. You know, some get discovered, but most don't. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I know. But as long as we have some joy along the way. So let's have a look. Today, let me get this right. 100, look at that, 180. That's what it says on my screen. That's how many people are in the room with us, sort of shared out between Facebook and YouTube. Most people now watch on YouTube, which is interesting. Stag Theatre in Sevenoaks, Aladdin, brilliant. Thank you, Linda, for that tip. I may just take Dave to see that. All over the country, you know, Amdram, amateur dramatics. No, not so amateur, actually, I would say. So yeah, it was fantastic. Anyway, now let me see. So what was I going to say? Yes. So I was looking at YouTube today. I was looking at the SHAC at YouTube because I wanted to do today. I thought it'd be nice to see the year in review, you know, to have a look back at the year. I've done it in my personal life. I've done it in my business life. And then I thought I'd do it in my SHAC life. I thought that'd be rather nice too. In my personal life, I've had a fantastic year. 2025 has been a great year. We've had, you know, if you think about roses and thorns, lots and lots of roses, pretty much no thorns, certainly not in my private life. And no, personally, we've had a fantastic, I mean, Dave had a knee replacement. That's not a thorn. That was the solution to the problem. That was the rose from the thorn, you know. A little bit of recovery time, but he's been fantastic. He's stuck to the physio like really like mustard. And he's, you know, he was walking miles over Christmas. When we went chomping over the forest, Dave was with us, you know. So that was a good one. And let me see, I went to Paris with Grace. That was brilliant. Loved that. Had a fantastic week there. Went to San Francisco with Sam and hung out with Mark. That was brilliant. That was a real rose as well, that trip. Still so much. Sam and I did so much. And then the chair making week, that was a rose. I loved, Dave and I both. We loved it so much. Guess what we gave each other for Christmas this year? Yeah, we signed up again. Yeah, I know. I probably already told you this. Am I repeating myself? Yeah, we signed up again for next October. So all things being well, we're going to go make another 2 chairs. And that's it. It's not about the chairs. It's not about the product, although you get 2 fantastic chairs. It's the process. It's the experience. It's the journey. It's 6 days in the middle of a forest with like-minded people, with no electricity, no internet, no phones, not even running water, real. And then to make 2 beautiful Windsor chairs out of logs, with hand tools, with these 2 things, and really well sharpened tools, and a great teacher. That was another major ingredient. He was great. Jason, absolutely fantastic teacher. So that was good. Oh, and we did a disco in London. That was a Rose. Yeah, the afternoon dancing disco. That was great. Cool, we did have a laugh. Got a bit messy after 6, but we got out of there with our wig on. That was great. Yeah. So you do lots of things. You've got to do it while you can. Hey. Okay, I'm just reading the notes as we go as well. I think it's important that we hang out together today, just so that you can all hook up again. That's important too. Yeah, so let me see. I wanted to go through what we did, what we've done this year. And I thought the best thing to do would be to start with what we did last and then work our way backwards. But when I was looking at the YouTube, I was struggling to find it all. So I spoke to Paul, who will have a meeting with Jim, and they're going to work out a way to file the years. Because at the moment, the SHAC is like, it's a 460 odd hours, right? And it's all in one long line. And I said, what I really would prefer, and I'm sure that you would too, is to lock off the years. So the SHAC 2025 in the right order, with proper descriptions. The SHAC 2024 in the right order, all numerate, but with proper descriptions. So that if you wanted to go and do the triangle trees, you can look down the list in 2025, bingo, you see? Or if you wanted to do the hips and haws, you could look down the list, bingo, there it says. So hey, Brisbane, that's a long way from home. Nice to have your company, Glenn. Yeah, so that's what we're doing at the moment. It will take a little while to get it all filed, but we're going to work our way backwards just as we are here as well. So we thought that would be a good idea. Hey, playlist folders on YouTube. Exactly that. So we're going to but we need to file them. We need to lock them off and isolate them in batches. So that's a job there. I think the thing is that when Create and Craft in Oundle folded, which is well over a year ago now, it caught us really off guard. And we've been like pedal to the metal ever since, just keeping going. And so, now it's time. I'm going to take this Twixtmas, this few days now, I've only got a few days. Friday, 10 o'clock, Clarity TV, and Sunday, 2 to 4, Clarity TV. I've decided to move it because of Create and Craft that we moved it to 3 to 5. I'd far rather do 2 to 4. I'm still new to card making. Well, you're in the right place, Glenn. You're in the right place. Welcome to Clarity and welcome to the SHAC. And welcome to this community. I think you'll be blown away by how lovely the people are in this group. Helpful, clever, talented, creative, reliable, and kind. There you go. And loads more. Good day, Glenn. Look. Oh, and we've got comedians as well, aka Lillian and Ken, just so you know, be warned. Now let's have a look what we did the last time we got together. Right, so what I want to do is I'm not going to dwell on all of them. You know, because what we've said all the time is you don't need much to join in the SHAC. You know, a pencil, tracing paper, card, rubber, eraser, that is, sharpener, some colouring pencils. Like every now and again, I reach for a stamp or a stencil. Hey, Sarah, good to have your company. And Christine, lovely, lovely. Where's Christine? Bracklesham Bay, doesn't that sound lovely? Where's Bracklesham Bay, Christine? Where's Bracklesham Bay? Sounds lovely. Yeah, so I can't remember what I was saying. Anyway, come on, let's have a look. So what we're doing here is we're working our way backwards. So that last time we did the balloons and the triangle people. Do you remember? Let's have a look. Going a bit closer. So the last time we got together, we did the balloons with this stencil, or maybe it was with the bigger stencil. We used a combination. And do you remember I said, oh, it'd be so much easier if we had the masks. So the masks are available now. Okay. So we did the balloons, then we did the tall triangle people. A stamp set coming to you soon. Right, and then we did, the week before, we did a wintry scene within a bauble. I haven't quite finished that one. And that one, well, you could draw around a cup, friends, right? But we used that this stencil. See, so I used that stencil. Oh, I know what I did want to talk about. So we did that, right? I tell you what, you guys, you do make me laugh. I mean, I've spent the whole month of December listening to you saying, oh, Bip the Bunt, treasure hunt, bit easy this year, isn't it? Piece of cake, found it, no contest, went straight to it, easy, easy, easy. Then you get to the anagram, and then you've all thrown not all, I'll qualify that, most of you have thrown all your toys out the pram. I can't do it, it's impossible. And then we've had some really funny ones. I've got 4 words and 3 letters left over. Santa's naked or something. Anyway, it was hilarious. And I think slowly you're getting it now. You better be doing it because it's the 20. What's the date today? It must be the 29th. 29th. Okay, 30th. You've got 2 more days. 2 more days to give me 4 words. Remember I told you the clue. I gave you a clue. There are 4 words and the 3rd word begins with A. I'll say that again slowly. There are 4 words and the 3rd word begins with A. And it's something that you can hear me say. You can hear me say it. In fact, you could hear me sing it in the shower. There you go. And the order, I'm not going to be a stickler about the order, Sue, about the first 2 words. Although if you know the song, there is a definite order to the lyrics. Alrighty? I'm not saying any more. Spoiler alert. Now, so we did the bauble, and then we did these baubles. Didn't they come out lovely? I know, big clue, Linda. I've been laughing nearly said ass. I've been laughing my head off at the Facebook, the banter, where it's just hilarious. And even on here, somebody said something so funny the other day, like, I've got 4 words and 3 letters left over. And then somebody else wrote, well, you're not going to win then, are you? Just appealed to my sense of humour. Anyway, so we've got the baubles. This is a nice one. I mean, look at these. They're so easy too, aren't they? Right. And then we've got the trees, the tree triangles, or the triangle trees. They came out lovely. I mean, we did all that job with do you remember? With the tracing paper and all the holes in it. Look, we really went for it, didn't we? I know. Beautiful though. Came out lovely. Not dissimilar in technique, really, to these, was it? You know, with the sponge and the ink. Lovely though. I really like this. Really like these ones. Particularly like that font. Hold that thought. Hang on till Friday. Yes. Hold that thought. Hang on till Friday. All right. Yeah, and then, of course, because we're trying to run a business, we also came up with these really clever masks, which are brilliant for the trees, especially when you're overlapping them. So they're a piece, they make this easy. So we did that as well. I really liked this one that we did when we did the writing. Do you remember? I would like to finish this one. I may do that when this will be my project between now and Friday, perhaps, where we did the hips and haws. Do you remember? Like that, rose hips, and we did them tall, and then we reduced them in size. That was quite clever by making to make them really small, so that then we could put them on the words. We could make them all different sizes. I really liked that one. This is great card making tricks, Glenn. There you go. So that was the hips and haws, and then we did all the different writing, didn't we? The stems. Happy birthday. This too shall pass. Keep it simple. One day at a time. And we left a bit there so that we could add. There you go. This was a cool one. So that we could add the holly. Do you remember? Nice, isn't it? I mean, this is all done really recently, actually. Merry Christmas. I got a couple of Christmas cards like this, which I really appreciated. I got we got some lovely Christmas cards from so many of you, and there's a lot of gratitude and appreciation for clarity and what we do and what we stand for. And we really appreciate your patronage, your custom, your loyalty, your friendship, the community. Without you, where would we be? That's it, isn't it? And then we did some faces because we did the angels. Now they were probably, apart from the stamp pens at the beginning of last year, they blew the doors off. They really got us out of they paid the VAT bill, let's put it that way. And then the next big popular product was the angels, the parchment angels, the 3 plates with the different patterns. Everybody was getting angels. It was so lovely this year. So it was so nice to come up with something that was so popular, that people really enjoyed making, that was very achievable. That's really important. And then, of course, people were asking about faces. So then we opened the eyes. And this was also on the grey board. Another very, very popular product among the arty mixed media bunch. And this was also for them, how to open the eyes, how to close the eyes. More will be revealed on the grey board. We're already working on some fantastic ideas there. So we're getting our ducks in a row. So that was that. I've got another folder. Let's have a look. I'll tell you what I've got as well. I've got some ducks I want to show you. Right, so let me see. That was 8. This is 7. I've got folders everywhere here. 7. Oh, yeah. So the thing is, because we only get together once, I've got that lovely pillow. Look, my pride and joy. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Yes, Miss Ashmore, it's your handiwork. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. Now, let's have a look. So then we went, Sam and I, we went to the States, didn't we? And so let's have a look what we've got here. Oh yeah, Kachinas. Do you remember them? So we did the Kachinas, and then we did the landscapes. They came out lovely. Then in Monterey, do you remember we did the turtle? He was gorgeous too. Yeah. Happy, healthy new year to you too, love. I can see people coming and going and dipping in. 220 people. You are so welcome. You are so welcome today. You know, it is that Twixtmas, isn't it? What to do, where to go. But I've got some ideas, right? First of all, we're tidying up. If you're new to the SHAC, we're tidying up the SHAC in YouTube so that you could go back. You know, you haven't missed anything because we've been going since lockdown for 5 years. So I think this is something like 400. I mean, Paul, we talked about it this morning. 450 odd, 446 or something hours we've been going together just in the SHAC. And a lot of those hours were up the front end when we had to stay at home. What was it? Stay home and craft, the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. And now it's stay happy and creative. You see, now we only get together once a week on Monday mornings, usually, like now. But the other thing is, of course, we stopped doing create and craft, and a lot of our hours were eaten up by that monster. Now we have our own Clarity TV, and they're packed with goodness and demonstrations, but we have to sell product in order to keep going. It's that simple. And so I've got some really cool things to show you there as well. But yeah, so the SHAC, if you're new to the SHAC or you haven't been with us since the start, give us a little while and you'll find that it'll be such a lovely, it's like going back to a 5-part series, going back to Game of Thrones. And if you know, like not quite as gratuitously violent as the Game of Thrones, but you understand what I mean. You could go back and you could go right back to the beginning and then you don't miss anything. But the way it's rigged at the moment on YouTube, it needs to be, as Debbie was saying, it needs to be subdivided into categories, into playlists, and they need to be more specific. We haven't been doing that because we've been too busy pedaling to just keep going. But there you go. C'est la vie. So we did that when we were in Monterey, remember? Oh, yeah. And then we were in San Francisco. So we did that really nice writing. I enjoyed that. That was when we were in Mark in San Francisco. We did the houses. Very nice. More will be revealed on the houses. Just think grey board. There you go. There they are. Look, do you remember when we did them in colour? Nice. And then we did Clarity Street as well. Clarity Street. They were delightful. But we did them on Clarity TV, didn't we? Not so much in the SHAC. I drew them on the side, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So did you remember the little triangle people? Now, didn't they end up being a hit? See what I mean? So it all ties in. These are the same little people as were holding the balloons just before Christmas. And then this was I liked this one. I don't know if you remember this, because we were working our way through the alphabet. And then we went to W and we had all these different things, white picket fence, washing line. Can you remember? Washing line. We drew and we did it all in little pieces like this. Watering can. We tried to get as many things, a weather vane, window. We got a weeping willow or weeping ash, like there, look. And then we had, oh yeah, a way marker for the SHAC. And the way we did it was we put it onto these little tiles like this so that you could kind of move it around. And if you wanted to put the house closer and take the washing down, you could just remove the washing, which it turned out I really liked this idea, you know. So that kind of modular, because this whole year's been quite a lot about mini makes, hasn't it? You know, that Facebook page that we have. And if you're not on that Facebook page, treat yourself, because it's brilliant. We've got several Facebook pages to keep you company. It's for inspiration, for community, for fun. And we started one at the beginning of this year, and it's called Clarity Crafts, Mini Makes and ATCs, Artist Trading Cards. Jane Telford, Elizabeth, they organise a swap on those pages, on that page, Clarity Crafts, Mini Makes and ATCs. There's a groovy sort of parchment swap and an arty swap, an inky swap. But it's not mandatory. You don't have to do it. It's just some of us need a reason to make things, and that's a good reason. There are well over 1,000, I think there are 1,200 people in that group, you know. And so what the point I'm making is that we were very keen on small pieces of art. That was the thing. And this is like 3.5 by 3.5. An ATC would be 2.5 by 3.5. So we were very keen to make little pieces of art. And this is, again, that comfortable kind of takes the pressure, takes the heat, stops you getting anxious about trying to approach. Glenn, what we do in this group is we kind of try and keep the artwork petite, because a lot of us get anxious. And once, you know, we're not in the mural game. We're not making murals here. You know, the bigger the canvas board, the bigger the artwork. You can have a beautiful big canvas board, but the centerpiece is always going to be rinky-dink. We like a little bit of space around our work. So we've been really focused on small art, and it's done us the power of good. We also got into the polychromos, didn't we? And then, so we got some lovely coloured pencils. You know, when I said we don't use much, I tell you what, if you're going to join the SHAC, you definitely want to treat yourself to the polychromos. And I wonder, Paul will be able to tell me this, in the sale, I wonder if they must be, even if it's only 20% off or something. I bet they're in the sale, aren't they, Paul? Don't know. I'm not sure. But there is plenty of stuff in the sale. The card that you need, the tracing paper you need, the rulers, the rubbers. I'm sure it's all in the sale, you know. So let's have a look. Then we did robins, and I showed you how the robins look different to the wrens. Look. Yeah, I know. I love them. So, and it's just that, just working out the shape. So we did some of that. And give us a couple of days, and I'll figure out when we did this, because it's one thing showing you little bits of paper like this, but when you actually tune into the YouTube, and it might only be 10 minutes of an hour, but it's a lot easier for you, I think, to watch it and follow along, because then you can stop me, you can start me. In effect, the SHAC, apart from being an amazing live community, right, which is what this is really all about and why we started it, it's also 400 plus, 440 at the moment, and still climbing, hours of drawing tutorials, of doodling tutorials. You know, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that, and I can show you. These are my folders, you know, just of what we've done since lockdown, and so I'm pretty sure that many of you guys as well. I bet you've got it all folders as well, haven't you? So do you remember we went to Japan and we did the umbrellas? I really enjoyed these as well. Remember we cut them out and we used that download that we've got. Yeah, so the object of the exercise. This is a nice one, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. Japan. I think we're going to have Japan month. We'll have another Japan month. I love Japan. I really want to go. Trust, that lovely writing. Wasn't that great? I really like that. All wrapped around. We learned how to do that. Let's have a look. What else did we do? Oh, yeah. How to make droplets. Oh, yeah. Do you remember my old pyramid trick? It was cool. Elastic bands for the... Yeah, that came out nice, didn't it? Pyramid trick. That's got to be there too. Oh, and then now we're going back. This must have been last year. Nativity, you see? And now we're into last year. Grey board. I promise you, I will work this out. Right. But I really like the way they came out as well. Yeah, galloping on. Then we did M for mouse. Do you remember we had the alphabet? M for mouse, rodent. And then we did, let's have a look. Oh, love. That was lovely. Love. Alex and Mark. There we go. Now and forever. So this was another way, because we were on the alphabets, weren't we? That kind of straddled 2024 and 25, didn't it? So much of this, you know, so much. Like I say, all those folders. So we will take a closer look at the YouTube, and we'll make sure the YouTube channel that it's much easier. Bye, Richard. It's much easier for you to track and to follow and to go back. Now, there was something I wanted to try, and I don't know if this is going to work, but let me try it. Let me just, I might lose you. No, I'm not going to lose you. I saw something earlier that said, if I tap on the message, right, Jackie, I'm gonna use Jacqueline Cooling. You're the guinea pig on this. Stop writing, everybody. Just stop writing for a minute so I can. All right, I'm going to just use the one that's in front of me, Lillian. Right, if I click on this, apparently it goes on. It said it would go on the screen. Let me try it, Ken. Hey, look, it works. Replying to Richard, take care of it. Now, can I see that? Am I the only one that can see that, or can you see that too? Go on, I'm learning here. Can you see on the screen that it says Ken Kilminster replying to Richard Gray, take care, Richard? Thing is, though, how do I get rid of it again? Hey, now I want to know, was I the only one that could read that, or could you see that too? I can see it. Progress. Fabulous. Thank you. So just now, Lynn Muir wrote something really great. Here we go. The SHAC is a fantastic resource for learning and building confidence, and the time given and expertise shared by our brilliant teacher bus driver, Barbara, is so appreciated. Thank you so much, Lynn. I love this little trick. Did you know that was a thing, Paul? Mm-hmm. So now we know that. That means that if somebody, while we're going, if I see something that's really worth pinning, let's call it pinning to the screen, I know how to do it now. What a result. I'll tell you what, you're never too old to learn, are you? Isn't it? Every day's a learning day. I know, Izzy. Every day's a learning day. Isn't that brilliant, Annie? I know. Did I tell you that I'm doing an apprenticeship? I am. Tell me if I've already told you that I'm doing an apprenticeship, an 18 months. I know, back to school. We've been doing it for 3 months. Grace, Jim, myself. What do you think? Did I tell you what I've been doing? Barb's got a new toy to play with. She has. But now tell me whether I've told you about my apprenticeship. Now I want to know whether you... And then I'll show you Right, the same as we've just done the year in. I haven't heard about it, Sue. Well, if you haven't heard about it, then you haven't heard about it. So I know this is mad. It's like I haven't got enough to do, but I've learned so much. And it's all about, believe it or not, thank you, Hilda. I still haven't told you what wool I want. Rubbish. I want some socks though. I'm gonna, Hilda, after this, I'll get in touch with you. Yeah, well, wait for it. We're doing a qualification in digital marketing. I know. Digital marketing. At 66, this old bird's learning about digital marketing. It's fascinating. And you know what is really interesting? Okay, because this is a young person's game, really, digital marketing. But what's really interesting is that even though I haven't got a business degree, my business acumen comes of running my own business. Well, I've been doing it since I graduated from university, so 45 years. And I've learned as I've gone, and I'm not idle. I'm not idle, you know that. And what's really interesting is that as we've been doing this digital marketing diploma, it's felt really good for this old bird that I know what I'm doing, and we're really ahead of the curve at Clarity, and we're doing, in the main, we are light years ahead. The teacher, she actually said just before Christmas, I don't know whether I'm learning more from you or you're learning more from me. She was really, really impressed with the way we do our business. We run our business, And what I'm learning is all the different acronyms. And there are a lot of buzzwords around business and about digital digital marketing. Digital marketing, how to connect with your customers when online is basically how does it work? Or how do you connect with your customers digitally? That's what this is all about. How do you run your business? How do you advertise? How do you promote? And when she found out about the SHAC, she was blown away, and when she found out about the clubs, she couldn't believe it. And when she realized how many years these things have been going on, because that's not something that you can just rustle up in an afternoon. The power of the SHAC is the continuity of it, the 5 years, every day, every week, every month, every year. It's that reliability, and it's a combination, and not necessarily selling. The community. I've always been around that. So you do a digital marketing course, and the first thing you learn is it's not all about money. It's all about it's like, well, I know that. I could have written that program, And so I've learned loads, but what I've learned is the business speak, not the business so much. Although having said that, there are things that when you're so busy peddling like we are, just trying to keep our heads above water, you kind of like the filing, like making it smart, making it easy for you to access. All the content is there, hundreds of hours of it. But what's the point of the SHAC, apart from the experiences we were traveling, which was the point? But now for people to be able to come back in and revisit or start again, like Glenn. Say maybe Glenn wants to look at what we did in lockdown. Maybe Glenn wants to see what we did right at the beginning. We need to make it possible for Glenn to do that, you see? And so the course has taught me structure, also having homework. I mean, I've had some serious homework. And, you know, it's just very, very, it's exhilarating for me. It's exhilarating to be learning again. And I like being on the learning side of the desk. I like that too, you know. So that's been quite something. We started it in September. It's an 18-month apprenticeship diploma. Yeah. I'm already looking ahead to the next one, but I'm really enjoying that, you know. And the other thing that I really like is because we get together, they're online courses. So we have to have Zoom classes. And I really like that I'm learning with my team at the same time. So that's good because it gives us something to hang on, you know, to hang our hat on. And I could say, right, you know what we learned in the lesson last week? Well, this is what I think, you know, or Jim says to me, what about this? What about that? You know, I mean, we've been very busy. Oh, that's nice, Ken. Thank you so much. Let's see what Ken has to say. The Clarity community is the best thing Barbara's ever created. I agree with you. I do agree with you. And I've been with Clarity since the beginning here in the UK. I've made so many special friends here because of Barbara. It has changed my life for the better. Thank you, Ken. It's changed mine as well. Yeah, so there you go. That's what I'm doing. Now, before I run off, because I've got this new thing. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about it on Friday. And I have to tell you, so in this course, I mean, it's obvious, really, but in digital marketing or in business speak, this is all business strategies, if you like, right? I don't have a business strategist. I don't have a marketing department. Paul and Jazz and Jim and I and Stuart, we are the marketing department. You know, we do it all, don't we? And so we don't have like the marketing department, the sales department, you know, we've got an accounts department. He's called Pete. Got a design department that's called Jazz. Oh dear. But the point is that we're learning, you know, because we're doing this course, we're learning all these different tricks. And one of the buzzwords, you know, I'm talking about buzzwords. This is really interesting. One of the buzzwords is called touch point. Right, it's obvious, it's self-explanatory. So touch points are when the company, let's call us the company, and you are the customer, right? It's when the company touches the customer, touch points. So this is a touch point. Let's say this is a classic touch point, isn't it? One of the most powerful ones, really, the SHAC is one. If I had to do the top 10 touch points, as in where we meet, the SHAC would be in the top 3. Open days, touch point. Workshops, touch point. Online workshops, touch point. Facebook pages, touch points. Come on, give me more. Open days. Emails, regular touch points. Do you see what I'm getting at? Clubs, touch point, big touch point. And so this is it. Newsletter, touch point. So I took this on board. It's obvious we've been doing it for decades. I've been doing touch points since I started, but I didn't think of it as a touch point. But once you've got the word for it, rather than just doing the job, now I've got the word for it. I think, oh, touch points, that's interesting. And the word sparks new touch points just because of the nature of the word as a linguist. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So now I've come up with a really good touch point. In fact, Jazz said she reckons this is going to be the most important touch point of all of them. So we shall see. And it's already going in all the passes. Whenever you order from Clarity, already the January one's already going in the boxes now. It's already started. And today, when we finish here today, I shall be going and working on the February one, this touch point. And I'm going to, if you don't receive a parcel this week, then join me on Friday and you'll see what this is all about. Okay. But where it came from, like the idea was from this course, you see, because it opens your mind. You know, I think a lot of people, when they get older, they think, they know it all. And the older I get, the more I realize how little I know. But it's really nice to do this course because it gives you something to think about. It gives you something to talk about. It kind of expands your mind a little bit. And especially in a digital world that is moving so fast for the likes of us old fogies. I know I kind of speak for myself, but it's the speed with which the world is moving now with AI, with artificial intelligence. I can't be frightened of it. I have to embrace it. I have to, you know, I won't be threatened by it because I can't do anything about it. So why would I throw a threat at myself? No. I'll embrace it. I'll make friends with it. I'll figure out how it can be useful for me and for my company and for our community. You know what I mean? Because they're saying it's, you know, Mark, my lad, that's what he does. That's his job. He works in AI and he has done since he left university. He was at the sharp end of the stick when it was being developed. And he says it's moving so fast, Mum. You know, he's really proud of me for doing this course, you know. And by the time we finish the course, it'll probably be obsolete. But at least I'm not completely out of touch, you see, because it's moving so fast. If you think about it, when we were kids, we only had a television when we were maybe what, 7 or 8, and then it only had 3 channels. Do you remember? And you used to have to go to the telly and press the buttons. There's none of this. You know, we used to rent the telly. I remember Mum had it was like must have been one of the TV rental companies. It was like an Indian, like Pocahontas thing with a hole in the head. And we put the coppers in and that would be the money for the TV rental. That was my background. That's where we come from. And Dad didn't have we didn't have a car until I was at grammar school, you know. And now think about it. Now we've got iPhones. Now I can FaceTime my kids in the States live at any time. And you can see on the news what's happening at any moment. It's there. It's instant. Everything is instant. Now I can listen to music. I don't know. Is it Beyonce or is it a robot? I can listen to books. Is it Grace or has somebody cloned her voice? It's such a weird world we live in now, you know. But I'm not going to go all paranoid. No. I'm going to roll my sleeves up and I'm going to ask myself, one, I have to have a real, like a skeptical filter. That's what I'm going to call it, right? I've got a skeptical filter. I never believed much of what I read in the newspapers, and I certainly don't believe what I see or read on social media. There's really not. Really not. I fact check everything. If they say, oh, so-and-so's died, I think, oh, yeah. Then I go over to BBC News, although that's almost questionable now, and I check, have they died? Yes or no? So whatever I see on social, fact check everything. Don't get sucked into somebody's AI waffle, okay? And once you get that kind of, that filter of cynicism, that filter of skepticism, that just becomes a working part of the mind then. Like, meh, you know, don't get angry about it, just get skeptical about it, that's all. But technology is moving so fast, you know, don't be frightened of it. I'm even doing, like I say, I'm doing an 18-month digital marketing course because I want to get a handle on it before it runs away and I'm not on the bus, you see? Yeah, so it's exciting, really. Now, one of the things that we did, and I just want to show you this, and then I'll let you go, right? Because again, if you are looking for projects, we are so prolific, we move all the time. There's something called a CTA. Now, I've known this for decades. A CTA, it's TV speak, a call to action. Apparently it's business speak as well. I've just learned CTA in the course. So, oh no, I know that one. Call to action. It's when it's like crackerjack to me. To me, it's like crackerjack. It's Friday, it's 5 to 5, and it's crackerjack, aka it's a CTA, a call to action. Everybody knows it. Queen's Speech, CTA. You just know it's at 3 o'clock and it's on Christmas Day, and it's always the same. And so the SHAC is a CTA, 10 o'clock on a Monday. Groovy Tuesday, 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. And we've spent the last year establishing the CTAs on Clarity TV. Very important. Very important. Think about it like this. If you've got, like we've got a farm shop up the road. Got 2 farm shops up the road. One, you know when it's open, it's always open, and you know when it closes. Then the other one, sometimes it's open, sometimes it's closed, sometimes it opens late, sometimes it shuts early, sometimes the gates are locked. Now, I'm going to ask you, which one do you think I go shopping to? Precisely. Of course, you're not going to go to the one that might not be open. So they haven't established a CTA. You can't, it's not a call to action, you see, because there's no reliability there. And so on Clarity TV, we've you know, without even ramming it home, you know, 10 and 2 on a Monday, 10 and 2 on a Tuesday, 10 and 2 on a Friday, except when it's a bit dodgy like Christmas, right? And I've got the dates to show you. So this week, for example, we've got 10 now, no 2. Tomorrow, 10, no 2. Friday, 10, no 2. And then Sunday, 2 to 4. So we're moving the CTA from 3 to 5 on Sundays to 2 to 4. It's very important because if my mum knows, she knows without my even telling her, she knows exactly when she thinks about it. I bet she's on at 2 o'clock today. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So let me just show you this quickly. Monday, 29th. This is at our office hours. 9 to 12. 9 to 12 Tuesday. This is when the phones are open. Wednesday, 9 to 12. New Year's, closed. Friday the 2nd, business as usual. And 2 to 4 is much better, Barb. I know, Ken. So that's the times that the phones are open. Okay. The website never sleeps. It's a Boxing Day sale, you know, but there are people always in the background. I never stop. Dave never stops, and Paul certainly doesn't. You know, so don't think that you're ever alone. And Grace is the same on social media. She's always in the background, always there, always policing. So that works too. Now, I just want to show you this, just in case you remember when we do our Clarity TV, our call to action. I just want to show you something. And I don't know if you can see this, but these are, look, all the downloads. 1st of December, we did that. You see? 2 o'clock, 1st of December. 21st of November, the blooms. 24th of November, the poppets. 3rd of October, the leaves. So all of these bow wallpapers. Oh, I pulled that one forward, the April. Look, these are all CTAs. These are all the projects that we've done. Bit the Bear, and it tells you exactly when. And you can go on the website. Paul will give you the link, and you could print off every single one of these, and you've got yourself a year's worth of projects, downloads, and each one of them, when you look, there's all my work, what was made, Let me find one that you can see exactly. There you go. Wishing you well tag. When it was made, what was made, and what was used. So if you were having a little tidy up, this might be a brilliant idea just to go and print out these. Look, 3 to 5, July, French lace toppers and tags. What was made, when it was made, and what was used. And I've got all my bits in there from what I actually did on the live show. So that tells you, you can go to the video, you can watch it. It shows you exactly what we did, and it gives you, it's a project. These are all projects for you. Every single one of these. There are so many beautiful projects, okay? And just remember that never feel that you're alone, you know, because they're easy to track, because they're like chronological. You just go back on Paul will give you the link, and you just work your way back. Again, I think what we're going to do though is we're going to do the months, and then we'll lock off the year, because otherwise that list is going to get longer and longer. So I'm going to talk to Paul and Jim about isolating and making those CTAs, boxing them up so that they're easier to find, with a little index, so you can look down the index and go, oh, that's where that one is. Grrr, you know, like a little file of facts. I think that's important. So there you go. That's what I wanted to tell you. Let me just check. Ducks in a row. I've got to show you these little ducks, and then I'll love you and leave you. Art is what you make it. Beautiful. There you go. So sandy green. It's so lovely when people do this. I've received so many beautiful gifts from so many of you, and this one just made me laugh, because obviously I say that I've got to get my ducks in a row a lot. So look what Sandy sent me. Little ducks with crowns on. They are so beautiful. Check it out. Let me see if I can show you. See all the little ducks? I know. Crazy. How kind is that? Yeah, so there you go. Thank you so much. And that's really the essence of clarity. It's all about community, just like Ken says. And I want to wish you, because I'm not going to speak to you now until the new year. So I wish you a really, really wonderful little twistmas or twixtmas between now and the new year. Just relax, follow the blog, make something, have a cup of tea, chill, enjoy the new year. But what I wish you more than anything, and Dave does, and so does Paul, we wish you a happy, healthy, prosperous 2026, filled with good things, all things good, and creative and arty and beautiful. Yeah? So we'll just stick together. We'll be all right. And yeah, we'll see you on the other side. Okay. Paul, thanks for your help. Lots of love. See you soon. Bye-bye now.